There we go. All right, everyone. It's Natalie Carson here, and I am with my beautiful friend, Rosemarie Melanson, and she is going to share with us just a really amazing story about her journey here on this earth, the tragedies that happen in her life, and the message that she really has for us from heaven. So welcome, Rosemarie. And we've known each other for how long, Rosemarie, would you say? Since your girls were little.
Yes, goodness, it's probably been at least 15 years. I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe
I
more,
would,
maybe
yeah,
20.
could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
15 to 20 years. So, and our daughters were both in the Cinderella Scholarship Program together. My daughter won the Mini Miss title. Her daughter won the Woman title. So we actually got to travel around the state of Nevada, representing the scholarship program of Cinderella together. We went to Disneyland and on a cruise together. And we got to be pretty close. And I'm close with her daughters, who own an amazing dance studio here in Las Vegas, Dance Dynamics, which my daughter is going to go tomorrow and audition to be on the dance team. So just a great family. This is a great family. So Rosemarie, I would love for you just to tell us about your journey and what happened. And also in that, if anybody out there has questions, go ahead and ask Rosemarie. But I would love for you to take the floor here, and then let's wrap it up with light and love versus fear and anxiousness. And I feel now more than ever we're all praying up light, right? We're all praying up love, because fear is being spoon fed to us by the masses, right? We have fear, there's judgment, there's blame, there's shame, there's doubt, there's anger. Ego is huge right now. It's just this very dark, like heavy energy, which I feel is from the devil. I feel it's a satanic, dark energy that is being fed to us. And now today we have a message of light, right? We have this message of light. And I think we have to go into the darkness, right? And then creep back up into the light. And so Rosemarie has a very emotional story today to share on her journey. So I'm going to stop talking, but I just wanted to let our friends that are watching kind of know where we're going here, because there is a light at the end of this story. So Rosemarie, beautiful angel Rosemarie, it's all yours.
Okay, sure. I would like to share today with you something that I experienced in 2017. And I was at the October 1 Harvest Festival, the Route 91 Festival here in Las Vegas. I was with my two daughters and two other girls that's like my daughters, but there was 5 of us total. And we were having a great time. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on Sunday evening, it was getting a little bit later, and the last Jason Aldean was coming on stage. And he's a guy that I really, really enjoy his music, and I know my daughters do as well. So they were content for the little further back, but I was just like, oh no, this is Jason Aldean. We got to get up close to the stage. And so it was packed with people. I mean, body to body. I mean, there wasn't a lot of room. So I took one of my girls by the hand, and I was just like a kid in a candy store, really. I just kind of wiggled our way through everybody and got up a little closer to the stage on the right-hand side. And the music, he came on, and the music started playing, and we were just having a great time. And all of a sudden, I heard what I thought was fireworks. And immediately I thought, that's so strange for them to put off fireworks now, right in the middle. I mean, he just started his show. And I looked up to the sky, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, those are not fireworks. Those are bullets. And then almost immediately when I said that is when I was shot. And what happened was, I didn't feel like pain immediately. I was shot in my upper chest, and it went through diagonally. And then my injuries it went through, broke 2 ribs, it punctured my lungs, it blew out. There's a junction that connects the esophagus to the stomach. It blew that junction out. It went through my stomach. It took out 1/3 of my liver, and it went through my spleen. And when I fell, when I was standing there and I realized, oh my goodness, I just got shot, I pulled my phone out of my pocket, And I went to text my husband and I said, I just got shot. I love you. And I thought I had hit the word sent, but I found out later it was never sent. But I thought I put my phone in my pocket. And the next thing I remember, I don't remember the action of falling that night. I remember getting shot. I do not remember the action of falling. Next thing I know, I am on the ground and I'm on my stomach, and my girls were over top of me and just screaming and yelling at the top of the voice, Mom, Mom, Mom. And Stephanie had put her hand on me, and she could have put her whole body on me, her hand. I don't know how much the pressure was, but it felt like it was a zillion pounds of weight on my body. It just felt like I was just crushed, like it just felt suffocating. So from that point, I the next thing is I could literally feel my spirit leaving my body. I felt it. Interesting enough, I never ever felt fear that night. I never felt fear. I wasn't scared. And I know that's probably hard to believe in the chaos of everything that happened, but I was protected by God. I didn't feel the fear. I didn't feel scared. So my spirit left my body, and it hovered over my body for maybe about 20 seconds. And I could see my dead body on the ground. I could hear the girls over top of me, just screaming and screaming. I could see all the chaos going on. I could hear the bullets. I could hear them just coming and coming. I could see the people. The people were frantically running. They were jumping over dead bodies. They were jumping over people that fell down. People were trampled on. I could see all of this. I could see it all happening, and as my dead body is laying on the ground. So like I said, I hovered for about 20 seconds, and then from there, I could literally feel my spirit just literally float right into heaven. The most peaceful feeling you could ever experience. No fear, no negative feeling at all. It was just a beautiful feeling. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then from there, basically, I floated honestly right into heaven. And what I experienced there was just absolutely amazing. It's something that you could never, ever feel on earth. The peace, the tranquility, the beauty. While I was there in heaven, I saw my dad, and I saw my brother, two brothers actually, and I saw my uncle on my husband's side, but he was just like an uncle to me, just as well. We saw him often. He lived in Las Vegas, and it was just he was very close with myself and our family. So I saw the four of them. The funny thing was, when my uncle passed away, he was pretty bald here on top. And in heaven, I can't explain this. He had hair on his head, and it was like he was in the 70s, like the 1970s. He had hair, and it was wavy. And I could talk to them, but not actual words. But we talked, and they just were just beyond happy in heaven. That is where we all want to be. That's where we all long to be. And if we live a good life on earth, that's where we will all end up. While I was there, and it was just beautiful. The light was it was so light, and it, no matter how, the best thing you ever feel on this earth, the best thing you ever feel or you realize or you see is nothing compared to the love and the energy and the peace that you will feel in heaven. Absolutely beautiful. Now, the next thing is, God says to me, now people ask me, did you see God? No, I didn't see God, but God's presence was there. And God gave me three very, very important things to relay. And he says, Rosemarie, you're going to go back, and you're to share these words This is a message of love. We are always to be kind, and we are always to be humble. And that love is the key. We are to spread love. Now, at that point, anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely love my family pieces. I adore my family. I love what I do. I love who I'm around, my extended family. I just love life. I have a zest for life, and I love life. And my kids are young. I have 4 kids, all in their 20s. None of them are married or have kids yet. But people that know me know how much I love life. And as much as I love life, I did not want to leave heaven. I did not want to come back. And I know people will say, well, I just can't believe that. No, I didn't. I didn't want to come back. But I was told I had to go back. I was told, Rosemarie, this isn't your time. You are to go back and you are to share these words. We're always to be kind. We're always to be humble, and that love is the key. Then next thing I knew, I woke up for about 10 seconds on the ground. I could feel that my body was being drugged over the ground. I never opened my eyes, but I knew I was on a fence. They had torn down a fence for me that I found out later, but I could feel that. I knew. So my eyes never opened. I was being drugged on a fence. And then, like I said, maybe 10 seconds, my eyes were open, and that was it. I was out. And then from there, I didn't wake up until 2 months later. I was on life support for 2 months. And when I woke up, my husband was right there. My husband never left my side this whole time. I just can't tell you how much I love and appreciate everything he did and everybody, but he stayed at the hospital 24/7. But when I woke up, my husband was by my side, and I looked at him, and my first thing that I said when I woke up was, how many? And he knew what I meant. And he says, Rosemarie, there was 58. And then I just bawled and he bawled. But the experience, I'm such a stronger person. And I was in a hospital for 13 months. I had 12 major surgeries. I still doctor with open wounds and some other things, but I'm well on my road to recovery. It's still going to take time because I got a lot to heal from, but I'm on the right track, and I'm doing better all the time. And believe it or not, this experience for me has made me a stronger individual. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually, I have become stronger and stronger all the time. And I guess, when you experience something like this, it probably, for anybody, I hope it, always makes them stronger. So I've overcome a lot of obstacles, a lot for sure. It seemed like when I was in the hospital, there were a lot of difficult times, For 8 months, I constantly threw up. It was a huge problem for me. Even at night, in the middle of the night, if I was sleeping, I would automatically sit up and just do that. And it lasted for about 8 months, and I was on TPN for a year. So there's a lot of difficult things. Like I said, the surgeries, it seemed there was always one step forward and 2 steps back. But I'm going to tell you also about one of the times I was in a hospital with my daughter. So I was in the hospital by myself in the room, and my daughter Paige came into the room, and she said to me, "Hi, Mom." And so I looked at her just to acknowledge her, and I was looking straight ahead, and I didn't even realize this story until my daughter told me. I mean, months and months later. I don't remember this at all. So I acknowledged hello, And then I looked back straight ahead, like I was talking to someone at the end of my bed. And she was very puzzled by how I was just engaged in this conversation, but I wasn't speaking. But she knew I was. So she said to me, Mom, are you talking to somebody? And I shook my head, yes. And she said to me, are you talking to Grandpa? I shook my head, no. I looked back at, looking straight ahead. And then she said, Mom. And I turned and looked at her. She says, are you talking to Uncle Mark? I shook my head, no. I looked back to start talking again. She says, Mom, are you talking to Uncle Bill? And shook my head, no. I looked straight back again as if I was talking to somebody. And then she says to me, oh, Mom, you must be talking to Uncle Art. And I shook my head, no. And so I'm looking straight ahead, just engaged in this conversation, which nobody's there. There's nobody there, but I'm engaged in this conversation that's straight ahead of me. And then all of a sudden, Paige said, Mom, are you talking to Jesus? I shook my head, yes. And then I went back and I continued this conversation. I had no idea that this happened until months and months and months and months later, where my daughter Paige told me about it. And I want to share because God is always there with us, always, even in the darkest times when we think he's not, he is there. And when I look back that night, I'm telling you, I could feel God's presence literally come in and literally scoop me up on that ground. And I felt his presence all the time. I wasn't scared in the hospital. And I know that sounds crazy because I had massive injuries. The doctors have no idea why I am here today. They did not expect me to live and have just been wonderful, but just have said to me on numerous times, there's no reason medically that you should be here. But I had some good doctors, and of course, God is in control. God is in control, and he wanted me here. So he was going to make sure that I made it through, and he saw me through. So even in that hospital, I could feel his presence the whole time, just watching over me, helping me. It was tough. My anxiety was very, very high in a hospital for a long time. But even though my anxiety was high, it's a presence of God that I felt. And I knew from the beginning when I woke up, I knew I was going to be okay because God has me. God had my back and I could feel it. We just have to be open to that. He's with us all the time. And we just, a lot of times, take that for granted. But he's in our lives, day in, day out, always watching over us. And don't be afraid to talk to him. He's there. He's listening. He's listening to everything you're saying. And just don't be afraid to talk to him.
And oh my gosh, this is just so powerful and so emotional too. And so many people are saying here, like, thank you for your testimony. Thank you for so much for sharing. Like, I know that your story is making such a difference, and thank God you're okay, Rosemary. Mm-hmm. I remember that morning when I woke up and found out you had gotten shot, and your daughters couldn't find you, and I was following. They didn't know what hospital you were in, and that you're here today to talk about this. And I think it's so important. And the things you said, that God is with us. And, I don't know what I would do without my faith right now, because there's so much uncertainty in our world. There's so much fear. There's so much darkness literally being thrust upon us now. And that's why I was praying a few weeks ago, and God literally told me, call Rosemarie Melanson. And I went, okay. And I was like, you're going to think this is weird, Rosemarie, but God told me to call you. And I think we're supposed to do this live video. And as the world is getting a little darker, this is so perfectly timed right now. And I just want to say thank you for sharing this with us. And I just want to go back and in case our friends missed it, some of the things Rosemarie said is the three messages from heaven. Will you repeat those again in case our friends want to write that down? You said that there was like 3 or 4 big messages from heaven. What were those again?
That we're always to be kind and we're always to be humble, and that love is the key, that we are to share love, that we are to spread love.
Awesome. So write that down, you guys. And I have a couple more questions to ask. And if anybody has questions over here, please put them below, because I'll ask Rosemarie for you guys. But I just want you guys to reflect, or I'm inviting everyone out there to really reflect where your energy is right now, because there is love and light, and there is darkness and fear. That pretty much, like, there's love and light, and there's darkness and fear. And with every ounce of your being, just be conscious of where you're sitting in this, right? Because darkness and fear is very contagious, and it's being fed to us. You turn on the news, any news station, I don't care what your political background is, you guys, any news station you turn on is filled with blame and shame and fear and judgment and all of this dark, heavy energy. It is. And I invite you guys to be aware of what you feel physically. What are you feeling when you're in that space? What are you feeling when you're judging people on social media? How do you feel when your ego comes out? It's like, you're wrong and I'm right. How do you feel? Because I'm telling you right now, that ego energy, the acronym for ego, write this down, is edging God out. Mm-hmm. If you are coming from ego, and ego is fear, judgment, blame, shame, you're wrong, I'm right, that is ego. And if it is edging God out, what energy is it coming from if God's not there? It's coming from the dark. Mm-hmm. I believe it's Satan. I believe Satan is alive and well. And something a friend once recently said is, he used to have to hide, and now he is in plain sight, and we still can't see him. But if you're feeling any darkness or judgment in your own heart, stop. I like to tell people, stop. Take a deep breath and look up to the heavens and say, how would love see this? How would God, what would Jesus do, right? Mm-hmm. How could love react instead of fear? Because if it isn't love and forgiveness, right? And you had said, love, be kind, and be humble, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Be kind, be humble. And love is the key. And if you're not coming from this energy of this message of heaven that Rosemarie just shared with us, if it's not from heaven, what's it from? And I think we all, and we're human, I dip down into the ego, I dip down into judgment, I dip down into fear too. But how long are we going to stay there is up to us, right? Like you said earlier, like, we all have a choice here. You could have come out of this being pissed at the world, being angry and suing everybody at the concert, and damning the guy who shot you and wishing him to go to hell, and just being a negative, horrible human being from your experience. You have every right. But you have flipped it, Rosemarie, into this other space. And if you can share with everybody on forgiveness, share with us on forgiveness and where you sit with the man who shot you and killed 58 people.
Sure. Once I woke up, I had different people, that were pretty mad about the shooter and what he did. And right off the bat, I never even thought twice about it, honestly. I forgave him. And people said, how could you forgive him for what he did to you? I did forgive him right off the bat. And I don't want to say it was easy to do. It just came out of me, like, still to this day. I mean, I forgive him. He must have had issues with himself, mentally, to do something like that. And I feel horrible for the 58 that died in their families. And again, I had a lot of people ask me that same question, and I never veered from it. We have to be able to forgive. We cannot move on with things unless we forgive. And so this goes a lot further more than him shooting me. It goes into our daily lives. We have to be able to forgive. If we cannot forgive, it's like we have this heavy thing on our shoulders that's holding us down. We can't live like that. We have to be able to let that go and not keep us down. So we have to be able to forgive and let go. We want to stay positive. In order to stay positive and healthy and loving and kind and humble and all that wonderful things, we have to be able to forgive people.
And not only forgive people, but forgive this person, me,
Yes.
myself, and I, right? Because who's
Yes.
hard on us? Us. I
Mhm.
should have been doing this. I could have been doing that. I suck at this. I'm not good at that. We literally, I say we should all over ourselves, right? We should, I should. No, stop and just love this person right here,
Yes.
like this vessel. Like, I believe in heaven. I believe that our spirits were all up in heaven. I believe we're down here on earth. Like, every person who's watching this, you're here for a reason right
Yes.
now. Your spirit has asked to be here now.
Yes.
And what are you doing here now to contribute to light or dark? What, like, and it's a check. It's a check on yourself. What are you doing here right now? Because I know we're from heaven, and I know we're here to bring love and peace. And that's why I wanted you to come on this call so bad today, Rosemarie, because I was like, we're all yearning for positivity or for light right now.
Mm-hmm.
And on this teeter-totter of light and darkness, we're being fed fear every day. Fear,
Yes.
fear, anger, fear. And it's tilting this scale of fear. And we have to put something here into the positivity to balance out the scale, or we will be taken down. And that's where the devil wants us, you guys. The devil does not want us awake. The devil does not want us being in love and kindness and praising Jesus and connecting with our friends and doing God's work. That's not where the devil wants you. He wants you down here in fear where you can be controlled. And I'm sorry, but I get very passionate about this, Rosemarie, and I'm so grateful you're here spreading this message of light with me, because it's so needed right now. And there's so much we can do, and forgiving ourselves, forgiving others. And I'm going to repeat it again. Be kind, be humble, and love is the key. Period, right? End of story. That's it. And so what message do you have for Nat? So you went through all of this darkness and hell. I mean, like, you went through a lot, like more than any of us on earth have been through. You went through 13 months in the hospital, 12 surgeries, right? Lots of anxiety, lots of unknowns. What your family went through during all of this is you've gone through a lot. But here you are. You're one of the kindest, most positive people I know.
Thank you.
And you've been through this, right? And so you've chosen to rise.
Yes. Yes.
So in this world that we're in right now with uncertainty and fear, what advice do you have for us to rise? I know we've talked about all of it, right?
Yep.
Maybe like some other words you have for us, like people that are watching this, like, but you don't understand, I'm scared, and my husband doesn't have a job, and my kids aren't going to school, and I don't know what's going to happen in the economy, and all the fear. How do we balance that out?
This is where your faith is going to come in. God is in control, and it's hard sometimes when we're going through tough things. My husband lost his job. My friend has cancer. All these hard things to go through. God is always in control, and you just have to trust and believe in him. And the whole reason I shared those 3 words, which were given to me, because I want to see that all spread throughout the world. Kindness, love, and being humble. And if we can honestly try and do our best with those, you're going to see light. You're going to see that love. You're going to see peacefulness. Just be strong in your faith, and God will guide you. Listen. He's there all the time, and so many times we block him out because we get so wrapped up in our daily lives, just working and just busy with the kids and just going here and going there. It's easy to get wrapped up in that day to day, but just always try to keep that faith and let God be in control, because he is.
Mhm.
So just remember to let go and let God.
Oh, so powerful. Let go and let God. And remember, when ego comes in, it's edging God out. And that's where, oh, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. But I love how you said, get still and listen. And that's going to come through prayer and meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and listen to Christian music. You know, there's this song, and it just came to me, and I'm going to sing it for like 5 seconds, but it says, I lean not on my own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
My life is in the hands of the maker of heaven. My life is in the hands
Mm-hmm.
of the maker of heaven. We're being guided.
Yes.
And even you going through this, Rosemarie, you have said it's actually made probably you said like your life better in a way.
Oh,
right?
yes, it has. It
And
has.
we don't know why bad things are happening, but we know God has a plan. There's
Yes,
a
he
plan
does.
here. And
There's
I
a plan
love
for everyone.
for every single individual person. Like I couldn't figure out why my mom died of cancer. I'm like, there's nothing good that can come from this. And she said, Natalie, everything is happening for a reason, for
Mm-hmm.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure it out until about 4 years after she died, what the good that came out of it, which was maybe she laid down her life for me. I'm healthy and I'm working on my relationship with God and loving who I am so I can inspire other people to do the same. And I wouldn't be who I am if my mom wouldn't have gone to heaven. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what the plan is, but I know light will win. And I love how you just said, envision light, see peace, be
Mm-hmm.
strong, and stand in your faith. And so something that I do is I imagine, and a lot of people don't think we have a say right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, we're going to sit here and just be in fear and wait for the world to open again. We actually have a say, and the say that we have is how we're going to envision light into the world. So if you want to be love or see more love, send it. Literally, energetically send light. Some of my friends I feel have darkness in their souls. Literally, I can see like a dark leech over their heart. So what am I going to do? Put them down and judge them? No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ball up light and love, and I'm going to energetically throw it their way. And I
Mm-hmm.
see it swirling around their heart, and I see the light breaking up the darkness in their chest. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
The ego would call him a biatch and talk crap about him. That's what the ego would do. But that's contributing to the darkness. And we
Mm-hmm.
have to contribute to the light. And so what I see with the darkness that's in the world right now, which it is dark, I envision, Rosemarie, this is just what I do. I'm a very visual person. I envision the other day I was meditating and praying, and I saw the sun rising. And I saw the sun getting brighter and brighter, and I saw light shining throughout the world. And these people were sad and like this, and kind of and the sun and the light was literally covering up their faces all the way up. And all of a sudden, they opened their eyes to the truth, and they started smiling, and they were awakened. And
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I saw God, light, love swirling in their hearts, and all was well.
Mm-hmm.
All is well. And I get chills thinking about it now,
Mm-hmm.
talking to you about it. Like energetically, we can, with our thoughts,
Yes.
send it out to the world.
Yes.
And thoughts are energy, you guys. You can Google it. Like, look it up. Thoughts are energy. And so we're either contributing to the light or we're contributing to the dark. And so when I start to contribute to the dark, I'm like, oops, just joking, because I'm human. I don't want to do that. I want to go to the light instead. And so we just being aware of it and then switching that energy from judgment and fear into light and love. It's just such a powerful thing.
Yes. Yes, it is. For sure.
And on forgiveness too. And by the way, if anybody has questions, I know by the way, we have so many people watching and so many people giving you hearts, sending so much love your way. Thank you for sharing your story. People are saying you look great, which you do. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for your testimony. Jesus in love is the only way. Lots of people are saying, praise God. I followed Rosemarie's story since I was woken up by our East Coast family checking in on us. So she's like praying for you, praying for Rosemarie.
Thank you.
Ego edging God out. Yeah, so good. Love it. Thank you, Robin. Amber says, forgiveness is so strong and powerful. You are amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. She needed to hear this today. And you know, it's crazy, Amber. I'm sending you so much love. And you know, it's crazy, Rosemarie, is before Rosemarie got on, I said, somebody needs to hear this. We're just letting God work through us, right? And somebody
Right.
needs to hear this today. You can't love others until you're able to love yourself. Amen. Yes, absolutely. Oh, hi, Paige. Your daughter's watching. Hi, Paige. And you know, one more thing on forgiveness, and I'm going to share one more thing, and then Rosemarie, I'd love for you to just finish this out. When Jesus was being nailed on the cross, and for those Christians out there, we know that Jesus was crucified, and he had to carry this very, very heavy cross, and he was being whipped and being yelled at, and people were spitting on him, and you know, this light in the world, people were turning around and literally condemning him and shaming him, and there was so much hate, and they whipped him, and they shoved this crown of thorns on his head, and just ultimate pain, and then they nailed his hands into the cross, and you know, cut him in the chest, you know, the stomach area, and nailed his feet. And as he's dying on the cross, one of the last things he says is, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. And when someone is mean to me, or I see hate in other people's hearts, you guys, I imagine Jesus being nailed on the cross saying, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. That has helped me so much. When someone's mean to me, I've been ridiculed. We're going to be ridiculed, but I'm inviting you out there to stand in your light, and the people that judge you, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. You stand in your truth and your life and be unapologetic about it, as long as it is from a place of love and service and peace and forgiveness and kindness and humility. As long as it's from that energy, stand in it. And the people that are going to judge you, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. Period. If you can forgive the man who shot you, if you can forgive the man who killed 58 people, I can forgive somebody who calls me an idiot. Right? Seriously.
Right.
So I just wanted to share that with all of us. Just remembering, God is in control. Rosemary, God is in control. Seek the truth. You had said, I wrote this down. Seek the truth, and the truth will set you free. Seek the truth, and the truth will set ye free. There's a lot of powerful people in the world right now, you guys, that want us to be in the dark, and they want us to live in fear. And I'm inviting you to step into your truth. Seek the truth that you seek, not what you're being told to believe. Seek your truth and go back to God. Let go and let God. So I'm just going to stop talking and let you just finish this up, Rosemarie. If there's any last things you'd like to say. My friend Tina really quick says she needed this today. Thank you for sharing. Another person, I needed this today. Thank you for sharing your love, Rosemarie and Natalie. Let's see, Rosemarie, I love you so much, and I'm so thankful you're in my life. That's Lisa Myers.
Aw, she's so sweet.
Oh, my nephew says, any advice, wisdom, or guidance to help a young college student? And I think this question Brendan is asking can really be for anybody, because it's not just a young college student, it's all of us.
Yes.
What are some last words of encouragement you have for us that you'd like to leave us with, that's just coming to you through God right now? Just speak, girl.
Sure. You know, life is about choices. Life is about choices. The choices we make today, and I've always told my kids this since they were little, but I believe it very strongly. The choices we make today will affect us tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Just live life to the fullest. It's so easy, like I said, to get caught up in these daily activities, and to get, you know, mad at people, but like I talked about earlier, it's so important to forgive people and not harbor all those bad feelings inside. We can't, because that's so negative. It's so negative to harbor all those bad feelings inside. Again, we just need to let go, let God. We need to stand in that light. And when you stand in that light and step out of your box, you're going to feel the love and the peace with all your surroundings and all your people. Just always try to live a positive life, be the best person that you know how to be, and always remember those words that we are to be kind, humble, and to love. We are to spread love. We are to love one another.
Amen. Thank you for that, Rosemarie. And just so you guys know, moving forward, just before you go to react to a person or to a post, just ask yourself, how would love respond?
Mm-hmm.
How would love see this? How could light work through me the next time you go to post? And when people see you being the light, guess what? Guess what you do? You light a way for them. And then we can now be light and love. And now it can duplicate and duplicate and duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
We can't show love and light unless we are being love and light.
Mm-hmm.
And have grace for yourself when you're being human and you go into the darkness, go, okay, I see that. I don't like it. I'm going to come back over here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So just
Right.
be aware of it, and you can stay down there for a little bit, but how does that feel? And then come back into love. And so those are the things that really help me. And so thank you, Rosemarie.
You're welcome.
For reminding us all that God is in control.
Yes.
Seek the truth, and the truth will set you free.
Yes.
The choices that we make today are impacting our future.
Yes.
And the message you got from heaven is love. Be kind, humble, and love is the key.
Mm-hmm.
To spread love, forgive others, forgive
Mm-hmm.
them for they don't know what they do, and just show up to be the light you're here to be, right?
Yes.
That's all
Yes.
we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Amen. Oh, he says amen. Amen. All I can say is amen. Such an amazing advice. I'll forever live in the light and share love to all, no matter what. Absolutely. Good for you, Brendan. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much, Natalie, for being obedient and calling Rosemarie. Yes. Oh, I just got chills. Such good stuff, you guys. All right. Thank you all for watching our live here on Facebook. I recorded this. I'll be putting it on YouTube so we can share it there. And let go and let God, guys. Just be the light, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All
Have
right.
a great day, everyone. Love you.
Yeah, love you too. And thank everybody's just say an extra prayer for Rosemarie that she continues to heal, because I know there's lots of more challenges and things going on. So extra love for you as well, Rosemarie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Love to everyone. Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Rosemarie, thank you.
Yes,
I just stopped our live on Facebook, but I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was so good.
Good. I'm glad.
I got so emotional, and I just feel the chills and feel the light coming out and hopefully serving people in some way.
Yes. So hopefully it will. And it's always good to share, what that message was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.